Robbie Ray sat quietly in front of his locker as reporters filtered into the Diamondbacks clubhouse on Friday night. Music blared loudly in an otherwise upbeat room, but Ray seemed to be quietly stewing after his outing, one of his worst in years. Ray's performance was one of the many items to unpack from the Diamondbacks' 9-8 win over the Colorado Rockies, whom they've beaten twice in as many days to open the. Here's a look at what went down. Point 1. Ray's rough night. Ray was hit hard, giving up 7 runs, 6 earned in 5 innings. The Rockies connected for 3 home runs off him. Lefties hit just 5 homers off him all last, but Gerardo Parra and Charlie Blackmon, both left-handed hitters, each went deep on Friday. Perhaps it was just a bad night and Ray will return to being his normal self when he takes the ball next week in St. Louis. But on Friday night, at least, his stuff just didn't look right. His fastball did not have its usual bite. His slider was inconsistent. At best, radio analyst Tom Candiotti described it as flat during the broadcast. It's hard not to be velocity-centric when it comes to Ray, a pitcher whose ability to prevent runs is based largely on pure dominance. On Friday, he averaged 92.6 miles per hour on the 38 four-seamers he threw, according to Brooks Baseball. Last, he averaged 94.5 miles per hour across the. The velocity on his slider, too, was down on average, from 85.17 miles per hour last year to 83.3 miles per hour on Friday. It probably has something to do with my delivery being slower, Ray said. I don't know. I don't think it's an issue. In answering his first question from reporters, Ray made a point to say, I feel healthy. While this was his lowest average fastball velocity in years, it's worth noting he had games early last where it wasn't too far below where he was Friday. Perhaps he's building up to where he was, but in the meantime, it will be something to watch. Close. Diamondbacks LHP Robbie Ray on outing versus Rockies on Friday 2. Archie Bradley's usage in opening day. Manager Torey Lovullo called upon relief ace Archie Bradley with 1 out in the 7th inning, then let him handle the 8th, as well. On Friday, Lovullo gave Bradley the 7th inning before handing off to Yoshihisa Hirano for the 8th. The reason wasn't hard to unravel. Bradley faced the heart of the Rockies' order. After using Bradley primarily as his 8th inning man last, Lovullo seems open to eschewing traditional inning roles and instead going with Bradley whenever the situation warrants it. I think he'll continue to do something like that, given the situation, given the team and our own lineup, Lovullo said. There are a lot of things that add up to it. Point 3. Brad Boxberger's debut tasked with protecting a 1-run lead. Closer. Brad Boxberger issued a leadoff walk before retiring Nolan Arenado, Trevor Story and Carlos Gonzalez in order, striking out the final 2 batters to end it. It was Boxberger's first save since October 1, 2015, a span of 911 days. 2 things stood out: his changeup and his willingness to pitch inside. As for the former, it's always been his go-to pitch, and he used it to punch out Story for the 2nd out of the inning before using it again for strike 2 on Gonzalez, whom he finished off with a fastball on the black. His aggressiveness on going inside was evident against Story, whom he pounded in with consecutive fastballs to jump ahead 0-2. The first one was clocked at 89.9 mph, the second at 91.4 miles per hour. Setting up any hitter, going in and out, is going to help, Boxberger said. Busting them in, whether you're throwing 88 or 98, it all has the same effect. Closer. Brad Boxberger on his first save with Diamondbacks 4. Nick Ahmed's hot start. Shortstop Nick Ahmed has never been known for his bat, but one thing that might have been overlooked in his injury-shortened 2017 was what he was able to do against left-handed pitching. It was a relatively small sample, but Ahmed killed them, going 19 for 48.396 with a .453 on base and a .625 slugging. For a team that, at times, could be vulnerable against lefties, particularly while Steven Souza Jr. is out, Ahmed's first 2 games this year are encouraging. He doubled and walked against lefties Mike Dunn and Chris Ruzin, respectively, on Thursday before hitting a 3-run homer and an RBI single against lefty Tyler Anderson on Friday. Close. Diamondbacks SS Nick Ahmed breaks down 5 RBI performance versus Rockies on Friday 5. Ketel Marte's ejection. Much of Twitter did not seem to approve of home plate umpire Eric Cooper's ejection of the Diamondbacks' Ketel Marte on Friday night. Lovullo, however, had no issue with it. It was a situation where I feel like he got what he deserved, Lovullo said. Marte reacted angrily to a called third strike in the sixth inning, slamming his bat on the ground before he had exited the batter's box. Cooper ran him immediately. This earned Ketel Marte an ejection just now. pic.twitter.com/yoix1zds. Nick Picoro at Nick Picoro, March 31, 2018. For me, you can't act that aggressively at home plate and break your bat. I've known Eric Cooper for a long time and I certainly didn't think he would let that go. I don't think any umpire would let that go, Lovullo said. Cooper told him that Marte did not make any remarks before the ejection. He said nothing was said, Lovullo said. Nothing needed to be said. Next up, Greinke. Diamondbacks go for sweep over Rockies. Related, Zach Greinke feels healthy, ready to make debut Saturday. Reach Picoro at 602-444-8680 or nick.picoro at arizonarepublic.com. Follow him on Twitter at Nick Picoro.